Welcome back. Sometimes the best lunch in the world is a nice hot bowl of tomato soup. But don't open a can, okay? Because you can make it just with a few ingredients from your home. It's quick, easy, delicious, and good for you. In the kitchen, Chef Becky shows us how it's done.
Hi everyone, I'm Chef Becky. Today I'm going to share with you a super delicious, quick, and easy recipe that is packed with a ton of flavor. It's my tomato basil soup. Let's go through the ingredients before we get started. Here I have 6 cups of diced tomatoes with the juice, 6 cups of tomato juice, 1 cup of heavy cream, fresh basil, and we'll finish the dish with salt and pepper. So to make this soup, I have a large stock pot, and I'm going to start off by pouring in the 6 cups of diced tomatoes. Now I'm adding 6 cups of tomato juice. I'm going to bring the soup to a boil over high heat, and once it's boiling, I'll turn it down to simmer for 30 minutes. And I recommend stirring the soup about every 10 minutes, not covering the soup because tomato products tend to splatter and make a huge mess. So while our soup is simmering away, we're going to get the basil ready. For this recipe, I really recommend fresh basil. I'm looking for the large basil leaves that don't have any bruising or spots. So now I'm going to stack the basil leaves, one on top of the other, and I'm going to roll them up like a cigar. And using a very sharp knife, make small cuts. This is called chiffonade. So I'm now fluffing the basil, and I'll go back over it again with the knife. Now I'll just repeat those steps with the remaining basil. Next, we will puree the soup. So now that the soup has simmered for half an hour, we're going to pour it into the blender. And I like to have the blender bowl be in the sink, just for safety. It's a little easier to pour it when it's at a lower height. And now it's also very important when you're blending hot liquids to secure the lid with both hands while you're blending. So we'll blend this for about 30 seconds and then return it to the pot. I'm going to add the fresh basil and the heavy cream and just heat it through. I would not let the soup come back to a boil. I'm going to add the fresh cracked pepper and salt, and that is it. You can see the soup is very nice and smooth. You can see the pieces of fresh basil. So now I'm going to garnish it with just a sprig of fresh basil on the side and a little more pepper. Today we made my tomato basil soup. This recipe is another example of how great food doesn't have to be time-consuming or complicated. Just a few simple ingredients can turn into something amazing.
If you want the recipe, you can find it online at chefbecky.com.